and cassava. Plant the land, plant the land. Some big and sweet pepper. Plant the land, plant the land.
Good morning and welcome back to the Now Morning Show, where we are talking farmers, food and future. That's the theme for Tech4Agri's latest project. And so to give us some insight on that one, we are joined via Zoom by Mr. Kero Bascombe of Tech4Agri. And in studio, we have Mr. Terence Ordain of the Maracas St. Joseph Farmers Association, as well as Mr. Clement Marshall, also of the Maracas St. Joseph Farmers Association. So all gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, as much as you guys are in studio with me, Kero is joining us virtually, and I need to get a little bit of an update, if you will, because it's not your first time with us here on the Now, albeit virtually this time. But Tech4Agri has been doing some incredible things. And so this Farmers Food Future, a bit of a tongue twister for me, is a continuation or a second part, if you will, of another project. Right, Kero?
Yes, it is. So Farmers Food Future is a follow-up to Farmers Food COVID, which we filmed and aired in 2020, and it was aired on TTT. And it was received really well because there was a serious uptake in the demand for knowledge and information concerning the agricultural sector and importantly, food production. Since then, food prices have not gone down. So we are saying, let us really and truly do the work that we would like to do and that we have been doing and that we find is there's just such a pushback against what is sensible, which is using digital media to support the agriculture sector. So that's why we said, let us do a follow-up. We always have ideas and whatnot, but we have 3 main media productions, and this was the first one that we were able to get out that was successful. And so we are following up with it again in another round with a focus on farming associations. And the Maracas St. Joseph Farmers Association was gracious enough to be willing to be a part when they told me about their upcoming event, which they will be having every month. So I'm sure they'll be able to tell you more in studio.
So, Kero, in terms of the actual projects themselves, the obvious challenge with the last one would have been COVID itself. Being able to navigate the tech world, it might have been easier for you than other groups. But let's talk a little bit about the challenges that you faced in this endeavor. What was it like to create Farmers Food Future?
Well, the main challenge, as I just briefly mentioned, is this pushback. Like I'm facing, to be honest with you, I face prejudice a lot. People look at me and they just assume I'm a criminal. You know, I have problems with institutions where y'all are not effective and we are offering to do something sensible. And we are partnered with global entities. So we are official members of the International Federation of Agricultural Journalists. And we are really saying we need to change that image of farmers and what people think about it. There needs to be an understanding that they are earning honest livelihoods, contributing to our sector, and really making that effort to make sure our country is food secure. We know that we have many challenges coming up because of the state of the world, and there's a lot of confusion. A lot of people are, for lack of better words, running around with their heads cut off. They seem to not know what to do in a situation. What do we do for the future? But here you have farmers. Farmers are very innovative people, in my opinion, and they're always thinking about the future because that's how they earn their livelihood. Agriculture has a biological lag, and farmers need to experiment and observe and execute, and farmers do a lot. So we need people to see this, and we need them to understand what goes into our food that we need to live on a daily basis, and understand that there are full communities and associations that are working together and collaborating with other entities towards this goal. And we find that our agriculture sector is still too much in a disarray. But I would like to focus on some of the key stakeholders, which are the source of the food, the farmers.
Well, we have some of those key stakeholders in studio with us, as you mentioned, representing for the St. Joseph Farmers Association. And so I'll start with you, Terence, because you were initially nodding emphatically when he mentioned the pushback.
Yes.
When you have now these innovations in terms of technology coming in from Tech4Agri, for example, showing and demonstrating what can be done, how do you, or rather, before giving away too much of the content, rather, what were the challenges that you wanted them to underscore more than anything else, specifically to the St. Joseph area or beyond?
Right. So as Karen would have mentioned, the food prices jumped over the COVID, and of course it never went back down. So with the help, like with the agri-tech and other entities, we, the Marcus St. Joseph farmers, see it as a way for us to collaborate with other people. Like right now, that the upcoming market is a collaboration with the St. Michael's RC Church.
Right.
Right. And our aim is to give a more affordable produce for the people of Marcus St. Joseph.
Right.
Right. So we hope that we could keep our prices down to as much as we can, so that our people could be able to afford, and also we try our best to also get them a better produce to consume,
of course.
rather than so we try less chemicals, and I think with Karen and they is really a help to showcase what we have, and so that people will have a full understanding of what we are about and what we're trying to achieve.
So Clement, tell me a little bit more about what you hope to achieve in that realm. When we talk about collaboration, when we talk about the inclusion of technology, a lot of people could be intimidated. So tell me a little bit of your perspective, your experience having that collaboration done, the enhancements and the positives you saw.
Well, I am in the recent times to join the farmers group. And having recently retired, I've joined the group and always had an interest in farming. And Terence and they encouraged me to come in. And from my knowledge, I think the technology will assist in the output, the quality of the work, quality of the product, as Terence said.
Right.
And I'm more like an apprentice under Terence. Terence is the person with all the knowledge. So I'm here to give the moral support and
I like that.
And assist.
Says, after retiring, this is something that I do with a lot of ease and a lot of guidance from Terence. I like that. But then that market then will show off all of the goods and products that you've worked so hard at. So tell me what people can expect at the market itself.
We try our best to have a little of everything. We also have artistry, right? So you could get clothing, jewelry, right? So it's not just produce.
Right.
Right, but as we go along, since after COVID, this will be our second market. So every month we hope to step up a notch. Right. So last market we didn't have meat. However, we'll be having some chicken, some eggs. Yeah. So we just try our best to see, as much as we could have, so that our people, the residents of Marcus St. Joseph, could rely on us to have a full market eventually.
Good. Now, Karen, I'm coming back to you because what we're hearing is very, of course, specific to the St. Joseph community. And does that mean then that we will see Tech4Agri moving to other communities toward Trinidad and Tobago as they usually do on this particular project? Perhaps a farmer's food future at another location?
Yes, so what has happened is that we've changed the format of the series. The last one focused on as many different kinds as we could, men, women, different backgrounds doing different subsectors. But this one we felt, okay, let's really just focus on the farmers. So we chose 3 farming associations, and St. Joseph, Marcus St. Joseph was the first one. And so we're gonna start filming with them first. We're going to try to see if we can make it more of a reality where we do look at challenges, we do look at solutions, and really what is exactly happening on the ground. And I think that's important because a lot of the times when institutions and other entities do their work here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's, to be frank, a lot of these times it's a one-off. It's just doing something. There has not been a record as to what has been happening for X amount of time, let's say in the last 10 years or what have you, if you have some sort of program or what have you, the records is a problem, and then the service delivery is a true issue. So it's like you have stakeholders who are just dissatisfied, stakeholders who are left with their needs unmet, and stakeholders who are used and taken advantage of by people in the sector. And I cannot tell you how many times I've had farmers saying they're fed up of this one and that one because of just not being able to do what they would like to do, which is contribute to our food sector again, and to do so with passion and with honesty. And I find that that is not that is why are we not supporting that? If things are confusing and uncertain, and you made a very important point there, in terms of people feeling apprehensive or overwhelmed or uncertain about technology and everything else that is happening in the world, what I would have to say to that is, well, we've just joined the world. You've just realized that we are behind and that we need to do better. We have to do better. We are an independent nation, so we should act like it. And we should stop depending on those who are not meeting their responsibility, wherever they may be, in whichever part of the sector. And those types of people we will highlight as well. But we choose to focus on the farmers first and then start looking at more serious issues. Because you can't solve problems without having to go the traditional routes that we are accustomed to here in Trinidad and Tobago. And
Karen,
so
it is
this
always a potent conversation. Whenever we link up, it is always going to need more time because there's so much to discuss. But as always, your mission is to make sure that you start the conversation, you create the follow-ups, and we will certainly do that as we look forward to farmers' food and future coming to a screen near you, hopefully. Let me say thanks to you gentlemen for joining me in studio, Mr. Terence O'Dane and Mr. Clement Marshall. Thank you very much for taking some time out from the farms and joining me this morning. And of course, joining us via Zoom, no stranger to the Now Morning Show, Kero Bascombe for Tech4Agri. Gentlemen, best of luck with the future of food. And guys, best of luck with the future of your morning, because we're going to set it right here on the Now Morning Show. We'll be back.
Trinidad, getting hard. Before you go mad, plant the land, plant dashing and cassava, plant the land, some fig and sweet pepper, plant the land.